Take back your power, babies. Call me now.
There's no way he's gonna come back.
Honey, you don't need him back.
Oh, but I want him back. I love him. Is there any chance?
I love you to death, but I am not going to lie to you. He is not coming back this time.
I just want him back because I love him.
No, that is not it. You know what it is? You don't want to be by yourself.
You know?
You deserve better. You don't need him back. Okay, sweetness?
How does it feel to you, Miss Cleo, when someone wants something to happen so badly, but you just don't see it? I mean,
It's heartbreaking.
Sure.
That same question she asked me, because she's hoping at one point Miss Cleo going to change her mind. She's got to change her heart.
and one of the things that lends so much credence and validity to what you do is you don't tell people things that you know are going to make them feel better. You give them the real deal. And hey, she's giving you the real deal, folks. You got to be able to handle it.
Get honest answers. Call me now for your free reading.
Call 1-800-329-9476.
Welcome to the Balls Deep podcast. With that, thank you,
Jim
Miss
Rome
Cleo.
is burning.
Just like Miss Cleo, we're going to give you the real deal here, or at least Nap will give you the real
I
deal.
love it.
I'll push the
I love
buttons
it.
and I'll say a couple things. But welcome to an episode. We've been in, we've been out. We're back. This is a
back,
Tuesday
baby.
of the recording. This is we're going into week 3.
We're going into week 4, bro.
Oh, week
Shit.
4. It's crazy.
I looked at it.
It's
What we at?
crazy.
We at episode 5. I mean, we missed last week, but so far we've been all right, man. Shit, we've been doing okay. After tonight's episode, I'm sure we'll have broken our season-long record.
Yeah, probably.
Shit.
I mean, this
Yeah.
little ticker keeps messing up on me, but I'll have to figure that out.
I like it.
Anywho, we'll get into it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but other than the topics on the board.
Shit. I mean, week 4, man. We can spend a minute on it. I'd trying to avoid being the homer talking about C.J. Stroud, but he's having one of the best performances in the first 3 games of his career stretch out there. I think they put him with Cam Newton, Warren Moon, and then I forget who else. But as far as yardage, he hasn't thrown a pick yet. And this is a guy that played at Baltimore week 1. You know what I'm saying? You already know we had Miss Cleo up there. I was talking shit about Anthony Richardson, and sure enough, what happened? Concussion out.
Injury, right? Yeah.
Week 2. Yeah, man. Minshew in, Bud Light's in, So it got me looking, bro. AR, he never really finished a season. In high school, he didn't play a complete season. In college, I believe he didn't play a complete season, as in he had to sat out a game or 3. And then, 2 games into the NFL, motherfucker ain't finished the game yet. So, we'll see if that's a sign of things to come. But he did look good when he was in there. I mean, I don't know if you saw that game last week.
No.
Those two rushing touchdowns, I think the first 3 drives. He they're running that Lamar Jackson type, full house in the back, type
Still more on his athleticism, in running the ball,
Yeah, for sure. As a passer, I think he's still terrible. He doesn't process it at all. But I mean, especially when you compare him, you put him in a room next to CJ, 2 completely different type. Yeah. Anyways, what else was there, man? I didn't watch much ball, but seeing the highlights, Miami 70, put up 70 on the Broncos.
I saw a little. I don't think it was that big of a deal or how much press it got, but someone was talking about Mike McDaniel's doing the classy thing and taking a kneel before they could have kicked the field goal and got 73. But it's at that point you're already 70. There's no you didn't you definitely ran up the score, so you might as well.
It was pretty much for the record, right?
Yeah.
So you got the Twitter world or the X-verse, right, divided, right? Half is okay, class act, blah blah, sportsmanship. The other half is livid, man. Mike McDaniel's stupid for robbing his players of eternal glory and things like that.
My point is
Mike
you're already up at 70.
Do you agree with him? Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, I agree with it. So you agree with the coach because he explained it and he was bro, he was saying the same thing you saying, but at that point, what were we gonna gain out of it? You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even that, but my point is if that was your move, there's probably other opportunities where you had to run up to 70. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I didn't see the game.
He was just saying Mike McDaniels he was just saying that doesn't really represent what I'm trying to teach or the message I'm trying to spread,
And then that clip of him as a ball boy is going viral. People are
yeah, I just saw that. That was really cool. I didn't see that before. That boy looked like Pete Davidson, man. Back in the day. I don't know.
Both,
apparently either the Texans or somebody had to kind of secretly fire him, tell him, hey, you drinking too much, dog. And he had to go rehab, figure his shit out. And then, obviously he's now the head coach. He came back healthy, but
It's
he
like
was struggling back then. And it looked like it too in that ball boy video. He looked like motherfucker that just
as like a ball boy, like as a staff member on like a coaching member.
no. When he was on the Texans, he was like quality assistant, one of the scrub intern positions. Yeah, he was like just drinking too much, man. Just getting too throat and stuff. Alcohol. So you already know how that does, man. Yeah. But yeah, he's got a good story, man. But
what other
last thing I
injuries
wanted
were
to
there?
touch on.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
yeah. No. We talked about Chubb, his knee, right? Apparently it's a little
my
more positive.
God, what's the latest word?
They're saying the MRI is a little more positive than what they initially thought. I don't know what that means. Motherfuckers should still be out the whole year, so either way he's out. But I don't really know for sure. They're just saying, maybe didn't break everything. I don't know. The motherfucker bent the whole way, bent the other way the whole way.
It was quite disgusting. Kyle shared with me an old clip of from college when he was at Georgia, and he did like the same thing.
Oh yeah, and it was the same knee, right? Yep.
I think it's the other way, but it was just like a straight like leg bending the other way kind of
beast,
injury.
bro.
That's
when I think of Nick Chubb, I think of like the 800 pounds or whatever he's squatting in the little Vine video where like the bar's bending. It's one of those bars I guess meant to bend to help with the weight. But what a beast, man. But yeah, it goes to show you can lift as much weight as you want, motherfucker. Like when you plant your foot down and you got however X many pounds of force coming at you at an angle, and your shit's planted. Like,
well, this is like the
other way,
it's not like I want to say an old saying.
We need to find the next double jointed motherfucker and see if I don't know.
Well,
you know any double jointed people?
No, not anymore. I don't know. I don't keep track of that.
Shit.
That information's not very. That information's not very shared anymore. Like versus like when you're a kid, people are like, hey, look how I can do with my arm. You don't walk into the office and they're like, hey, Dave, check out my arm, and they're just bending in different ways.
All right, man, let's dive into it, man. Shit.
Sell high or buy low. You tell us what this is about.
Typical, bro. Right? Like, think anybody on your roster. If you're in the trading type. If you are the trading type, who can you move? Who are you willing to move? Obviously, it's not going to be your first or second rounder or one of your key cogs, but maybe somebody that's been hot the last 2 or 3 weeks. Shit, the season's only been 3 weeks, but you know what I'm saying, right? Somebody that might have just popped off, had a good game, looking like ceiling's going to be super high, great potential. Schedule looks all green when you're looking at the outlook, easy matchups here or there. Might want to sell some of these motherfuckers, or it might be a situational thing, right? He's been holding it down as the side bitch, but the starter coming back soon, right? Daddy's coming back soon, whether it's Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor. What I'm saying is, so that incoming starter right now, do you want to trade him off, see if you can get a quality player? That's going to help you down the line now. Because one thing I've started to figure out when looking at my own failures these last string of 4 or 5 years, I'm holding on to motherfuckers too long, right? It's like they had the hot game, but I benched them. So the following week, I'm trying to get that hot game again. Chasing points, that's what they call that, right? Or it's I'm too tied to these motherfuckers, right? Too committed. You know what I mean? Like, I need to go back to having trust issues. Motherfucker don't work out, drop his ass. Motherfucker don't work out, don't pick up the phone. Motherfucker don't work out, block him. They leave you a nasty voicemail, take a sample of it, put it on a song, and put that hoe on blast. You know what I mean? That's how we need to start treating some of these players, waiver wire free agents. And that's what I'm saying here. Sell high. So don't get attached. Zach Moss, you know what I mean? Balling, double-digit points, double-digit carries, 30 carries last week. You better move his ass because Jonathan Taylor coming back, right? So see what you can get for him. You know what I mean? Can you trade him and get maybe Puka, Pocahontas ass on the Rams, or his sad mate Tutu Atwell? Some people might say, why would you trade Moss? I mean, that's an RB1, like great numbers right now. Jonathan Taylor, he's gonna be coming back, man. Ain't nobody want to trade for him. Miami had could have traded for him, that didn't go through, right? Who else, Beans? Who else got hurt? The Browns, we talked about earlier. The Ravens, right? J.K. Dobbins. None of these motherfuckers called for Jonathan Taylor. They either elevate. The Ravens would rather elevate Melvin Gordon's old ass, who, by the way, had 45% of the snap share last week. They'd rather elevate Melvin Gordon than go out and try and trade for Jonathan Taylor. Why? Because the market's not there, right? Nobody's gonna give up what the Colts and Irsay's coke-headed ass is asking for, So, but yeah, what you think about that? I'm trying to think of other players because Zach Moss is one I have and who I would.
So I've got one for you, and it's on my roster. It's talking about selling high. and I'm probably gonna butcher his name.
I already know.
Rookie running back from the Miami
Devin or
Dolphins.
Devon? What is that? What is that comma
it's
there?
Devon,
Or that
but
apostrophe in the middle?
I
Devon.
think it's Devon, but his last name is like Aichan.
Okay, Ashani or some shit.
Yeah, I'm butchering that probably. I butcher everyone's name.
Yeah.
But
Stud, right? So I mean, you got the stats memorized or what? He had 200 yards, right? 4 touchdowns.
He had 200 yards, and Miami went off and, like we just said, scored 70. His first game.
Aishan. They say it's Aishan. Devon Aishan.
So the first game was 1.9 points, and this past game was 56 points. So literally going in, no blip on any radar or anything from Sleeper or any kind of the auto analysis you get from these leagues and these websites. And then literally today, it's like, this is a must-have guy on your roster as a flex person. Oh my God, snatch him up now. So, I mean,
and that's why I love doing this part of it, the sell high, buy low, because like some people are gonna put, let's try his name again, Devon Aishan. Some people are gonna try and put Aishan in the sleeper category or in the waiver wire targets this week. Like, no, the motherfucker's already scooped up, bro. Like, why are you even saying that, you know? So it's good that we still get to talk about him in this one, which is like, hey, if you have him, yeah, sell high, bro. I have him at sell high. Do I? Yeah, I do. So why? It's tough to say, man, because his speed, explosiveness, Mostert is fast, but Aishan is fucking like, you can just tell, explosive. You can tell that pedophile in me. It's just, that boy young. You know what I mean? He young, he thick, he ready. He's fresh. And like, you can just see how he moves in and out and shit, like he glides, bro. What I'm trying to say is Jeff Wilson should be coming back week 4 or 5, right? He was the incoming starter, I believe, or he was the guy last year that they traded for, brought him on the roster. These running backs were former teammates too on the Niners. That's Mostert and Jeff Wilson. But what I'm saying, it's about to be a 3-back committee. It's about to be one of them nasty pornos, you know, foursomes and stuff, where the guy got on the teddy bear hat and he getting head from 4 different girls. It's going to be a bad committee right here. You do not want to watch or be a part of. So, like, have fun, but, like, go ahead and ship them off soon. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing.
Why? You know, if your roster's hurting.
I would... Before he had this game, I was thinking like, oh, I really would like to get another running back because I only have really 2 solid ones. Austin Eckler hurt twice, so he missed out on 2 games now. The first game of the season was great, but he's been hurt since. So like, I can't really shop him for another running back unless I match him with another person. And you talked about not wanting to draft or trade a 2nd-round pick. I would be willing to trade my 2nd-round pick. Do you know who my 2nd-round pick was?
Nah, who?
I got a lot of criticism, but Joe Burrow.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And he's actually impacting my 2nd-round pick, T. Higgins. Because shit ain't going good right now in Cincy, bro. I ain't mean to interrupt. But I got...
But that feels like I wouldn't... Like, yeah, I mean, I was thinking... I would even trade him. I mean, at this point, I would hold on to him until like the team gets moving a little bit better and he starts like kind of performing better, so someone would actually want him. I'm not going to trade him when he's on the down, like kind of like lowest end where he's kind of hurt.
You wouldn't be able to, right? You wouldn't be able to. So if you actually flip it to where we can still talk about it in a trading sense, we would turn that player Joe Burrow on the nice segue right here, the buy low portion. You know what I'm saying? Like, is Joe Burrow a buy low candidate? You know, yeah, I think he's going to regress back to the mean, right? But this is the positive mean. Like, Joe Burrow, we know he's a beast. We know he's elite, shown it time and time, year and year. Just signed that extension. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the lack of training camp, right? He was hurt with the calf or whatever Achilles it was. Just go ahead and let it play out. You know, let that rush go off, and I believe it's time to turn it up. You know,
to that point, I'd be very open to a trade right now. If someone's like, "Hey, Dave, I'll give you a solid running back." Oh my gosh, a solid running back and trade for Joe Burrow and maybe someone else. I would take that maybe because I was already thinking, you know, Geno Smith's not doing too bad already out of the gate, and like again, like not a big difference maker. And I'd rather trade Joe Burrow to kind of beef up one of the other positions, mainly running back.
But of course, you know, it takes 2, right? It won't just be you wanting to trade. It's got to be somebody that doesn't like their quarterback enough that they want to give up something to go get Burrow.
Yes, and someone who
so you either sell it low.
Yeah.
But no, for sure. And that might be out there. That's that match. But like you say, you're in this list of positions you could upgrade at, man. And man.
My wide receivers aren't panning out too much. Michael Pittman's actually doing pretty well. DJ Moore, the whole Chicago offense is kind of poo-pooing. A lot of people are disappointed in Chicago because the expectations are so high. Yeah.
Who's keeper, I believe, was Fields, and he was expecting dual threat type numbers, Lamar Jackson type explosion, vertical. But like Justin Fields is a player that does not choose to throw first. Boy likes to run, and he's giving Ohio State C.J. Stroud a bad rep because all these Ohio State quarterbacks get shit talked about him. Fields got to step it up, man. I mean, but maybe it's the Chicago curse, man. I don't know. Before we go to the buy low, I did have other. I mean, if you got Thielen, which I was trying to get from Bernal earlier, like I would try to sell him high. Thielen right there. I just don't think it's sustainable, the success he's having. He's been beasting, the first game was kind of quiet. Bryce Young kind of lit him up the second game, and then obviously Andy Dalton came in and impacted him on the third. That's why a lot of people are weary, because they're like, well, it was Andy Dalton at QB throwing it, chunking it. Bryce Young ain't gonna be throwing it that much. I wouldn't get too deep like that. I would just say, hey, if Thielen's getting the opportunities, if he's a wide receiver 1 on any squad, he's worth a roster spot. You feel me? Somewhere you can make it work, right? And then Jalen Waddle, another guy I was trying to get. I believe, damn, does Tank have him? Who has him? No, Steve has him this year, and that's another guy I would buy low. Was it buy low? Not. I mean, either way, I think he kind of fits to sell high or buy low. Just that Miami offense, you know what I'm saying? That's what you would sell it, right, to your trade partner. Like, they just hung up 70 points, man. Like, he gonna get his, But on the flip side of it, Waddle, he did underperform the first 2 games. So, I mean, as a candidate that you're going to buy low, I don't think so, because his ADP, he was drafted pretty high. So, I don't think people are going to part ways with him yet. But yeah, man, I think I had 1 or 2 other buy low guys. Again, like, buy low, right? Guys that ain't been doing right, that you think they're going to turn it around, right? We mentioned T. Higgins earlier. For the sake of him on my squad, I hope he's a buy low candidate, because I hope he turns it around. I'm going to keep him. But if you got him, you might want to move him, because he still has brand name recognition, right? Behind him. Besides being a wide receiver 2, it's the Bengals offense. Joe Burrow's not doing too hot, but hopefully, you're trading with somebody that's a Cincy fan and has faith, Jonathan Taylor, Elijah Mitchell. I think guys that you can go scoop up, man. I mean, I don't know, Jonathan Taylor's a risk, but
So here's one. I mean, it could be another buy high, or sell high. Yeah. Buy high. Buy high.
I always buy high.
No, so the Texans. I mean, it's actually a good way for us to talk about Texans. Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Nico Collins was. I was even thinking about using him as my keeper. Brother. And I was actually, early on, people were like, why would you do that? The offense didn't really do much. And it was a complete bet on C.J. Stroud, not knowing how that worked out. I ended up going Tyler Boyd and figured, I can probably grab Nico Collins at the later round. Tank ended up grabbing Nico Collins. I came back and I have Tank Dell, who also did well. So Nico Collins and Tank Dell have both had pretty good past 2 games. So might be a good opportunity to move one of those guys if you have them. I'm considering, because I know there's because we're a lot of Houston guys. I know a lot of guys would probably be interested in Tank Dell.
Yeah.
So it's just like, is this the Texans offense for the whole season? There's going to be struggles.
They're trending.
Yeah, there you go.
They're trending the right way. I believe those receivers, they're matchup proof, man. And people are gonna shit themselves, saying, nah, matchup proof is a designation for studs, somebody you can just plug and set it, forget it. Their situations are matchup proof, bro. Meaning, I don't care who they're playing against. I don't care how, what ranking, how red the defense is when you click under the stats in fantasy football. They're gonna get opportunities. CJ Stroud's gonna throw the ball. As long as everyone's healthy, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? And it's an offense, Bobby Slowick, that finally, first couple weeks, it looked like we hired the wrong guy. I mean, obviously, we were just witnessing a guy that was trying to figure out what's going to work, throwing shit on the wall. And it kind of came together, bro, last week. So the benefactors are those who you just mentioned, Nico, Tank Dell. You forgot one old man up there, Robert Woods, you know what I'm saying? Looking young and fresh. He is the security blanket that we thought Dalton Schultz was going to be. You feel me? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so
I love that you said that.
Well, I'm
Because- yeah.
looking right now in Sleeper at the trending. It's actually a nice little graphic over here. I'll share it up on here. But so the number one trending trends here trending up is Joshua Palmer, wide receiver of the Chargers. That's the number one trend people seem to be going after. Next after that is the running back from Miami, Devon. How'd you say his last name?
Ashawn.
Ashawn? Yeah, that sounds
Ashawn.
right. Devon Ashawn. It kind of sounds like it rhymes. And then right behind that is Tank Dell. So I have the number 2 and 3 trends already rostered. And then Adam Thielen, we talked about that.
Yeah, bro. Like
a lot of receivers.
it's a good segue into the weekly deep sleeper waiver target. That's when you mentioned Texans receivers, that's who I had on there. Like you could pick any of those 3 guys if they're available. Scoop one of them up, bro. PPR especially, right? You gonna have a good floor in the PPR. And while we're at receiver, I like Marvin Mims. I don't know if you know this cat. I believe he came from either Fresno, played ball somewhere in Dallas, Texas. I want to say, right. Anyway, went to SMU. Small guy, man, 5'9" or so. But I think he only had 2 catches. But he did return a kick to the house. Super speed. I'm just thinking the Broncos. Usually, that's a positive you get from a shitty season that's about to come.
I see he's on your roster.
Yeah. And this cat is looking at his fantasy points. He scored some touchdowns, right? But man, I think, like I said, the Broncos are gonna have a shitty season. So I think Sean Payton's gonna have fun with his rookies or figure out who's he gonna keep, where's he gonna have to start. He's probably already gonna start thinking about the draft. Come the bye week,
And is he getting rid of Russell Wilson? Not really fantasy implications, but it's just a fun exercise of a thought.
They should, he should be able to flex nuts. He should have the credibility, previous past performance to tell the GM, like, hey, let's get rid of this guy. I don't care how much dead money it's going to cost, but damn, it's going to cost a lot of money, dog. But yeah.
So Marvin Mims there, just for a recap for those who don't even know who Marvin Mims is. That's I like the name. Week 1 was 2 points, and then 25 and 16. So trending in the right area, looks to be quite good production.
Hey. Yeah. And running backs, this is a guy I mention every week, Roshan Johnson. We've conversed about him a few times. That's the guy Tank was pointing out, the backup to Bijan.
That's right.
At UT.
I've heard this name before.
Deontay Foreman, he's with the Bears, and it was supposed to be a committee,
right.
Or I believe that's what we thought at the beginning of the season. Khalil Herbert, Johnson, and then Deontay Foreman, another former Longhorn, right? Well, Foreman's been a healthy scratch the last 2 games, and like I said, the workload is slowly, starting to favor old Johnson. So, and he's doing the most with what limited opportunities he has. So he is standing out.
Currently listed as number 1 in the depth chart. Yes.
Hey. Oh, well, God bless then. That's an update for this week. So hopefully maybe the takeover's there. We did just clown on the Bears' entire offense and Justin Fields. But hey, fuck it. Who knows? If it's an RB1, damn, he's worth rostering, right? That's the whole trend here, trying to predict who these RB2 or 3s when they get their promotions, right? And scooping these motherfuckers up before everyone starts having to bid all that money. You feel? So, I'm trying not to go with obvious choices because everybody should be rostered. So another guy, deep balls, deep sleeper, right? Rico. I think Rico is the guy's name on the Cowboys. That's an easy one, a quick one, touch and go. All I got to say is, hey, I don't trust Tony Pollard's health. I don't think he's going to hold up all season. So have this guy ready because you already know anybody stepping up RB1 behind that O-line for Dallas, they're going to do all right, Dak, I'm not a fan of Dak. I don't know where you sit with Dak, but I think they got the most out of Dak, as far as real world, not fantasy. Like, I think it was a 4th round pick, like Russell Wilson. He should be happy. He got a Super Bowl. That guy was a 3rd round pick, man. They done squeezed all the lemonade they could out of that motherfucker, man. Like, let that fruity motherfucker go, man. Let that boy go ride, dog. Like, yeah.
No, the Broncos were just trying to, capture a bit of that for themselves. I mean, they already did with Peyton Manning. Not to say Russell Wilson was Peyton,
you're right.
Peyton Manning,
but Kubiak got his ring that way too.
Yeah, they're like they brought in like the veteran quarterback, and they're like, okay, maybe there's enough magic in Russell Wilson's deep ball to push us into a playoff run or whatever have you. It's just like push us into some relevance. I forgot what player it is, but someone's coming around like on a bit of viralness that says, I've been here for like 7 years and all I've done is lose. So the Broncos have been like losing for a long time, ever since Peyton Manning left.
Yeah.
So Yeah,
John Elway, trash executive, man. Yeah.
yeah.
That's the Tebow curse, I think, bro. I think it's the Tebow curse. Like, that boy cut Tebow after he brought him a playoff victory, man. And I think ever since then.
Well, no,
Actually, no, they got a Super Bowl.
Manning
after
era,
that, huh?
Manning era was after that. But
that was
yeah,
after
either way,
Tebow,
either way. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Hey, last possession tight end. You know, I love hitting the tight end.
Jeez.
Jake Ferguson, he's probably rostered, so I sound like an idiot if I'm saying it, but I think 13 targets the last couple games.
Bob's got him in our league.
Yeah. So Brevin Jordan, maybe I know that's super deep sleeper there, only because, like I said, Dalton Schultz, not like
so far not working
the hype.
out.
Yeah.
I was hyped. I was super hyped.
Yeah. You got him. Yeah, me too.
So I mean,
security blanket. We were hoping, you know. So
Tank Dell, I'm pleasantly surprised there. Like, I mean, as a Texans fan, I'm happy to see the Texans like kind of showing some life. But then,
when's the last time we seen a long completion like that as a Texans fan, bro?
We sound so deprived. When was the last time we seen a throw over 20 years?
Like, it was hype, bro. It was hype as fuck, man.
But I mean, at least one of those guys that kind of, you know, that's what you figured out. Either he was going to gel with the wide receivers a lot more, or just like be leaning heavily on the. So I'm actually glad he's like kind of using his wide receivers more than the tight end. If I had to pick one, because the tight end feels like more of like it's more of a safety security blanket, kind of like simple throws closer to the.
For sure.
So it's actually better if you're a fan of the whole team. Yeah, man.
We can keep going, man. I mean, you know, this is kind of the same deep sleepers and then week 5 stash. But remember last week I was struggling to figure out, or 2 weeks ago when we last met, bro, I was trying to figure out what to call this, like the forecast, who to stash now before people start throwing bids at him. And then, this is all it is. It's just a stash. You know, who you think's going to pop off week 4? Not necessarily a deep sleeper, but like you might be picking this guy more for the schedule he's got coming up. Or a lot of the times it's because they have a beast RB1 that might have some injury concerns, right? Christian McCaffrey.
Right. If you're smart, you do your homework in advance. Get ready for the test.
Try to get one. Yeah. Some people call it the lotto ticket, right? Have a bench spot to at least pick up a guy. Some people like, I don't even I used to not roster a kicker or a defense if I could stream, and then you pick up 2 extra players just that week in case motherfucker rolls his ankle coming off the bus, or you know, some shit like that on a Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, it's like, oh shit, you know,
that's next level, right?
Man. That's why we call it that. Yeah. But you know, these guys, real quick, who did I have? One guy each position. You know, the silly names, right? Melvin Gordon, we talked about him earlier, 45% snap share for the Ravens, elevated from the practice squad, right? I don't think Justice Hill. I don't think he's the one. You know what I'm saying? Gus Edwards, it's just a name that we've heard every year. You know what I mean? There's got to be somebody out there more explosive. And not to say Melvin Gordon's the one, but damn. I mean, if you're desperate, man, you might stash him. You never know. Things could have been worse.
No, I saw like I think he's listed on like one of the trends. I forget where he's ranked.
Steelers got this kid might as well be a rookie. I'm sorry, you got it?
No, keep going.
Calvin Austin for the Steelers, okay? 6 targets last game. He only caught 2. One was a 76-yard bomb, you know, touchdown, right? Obviously not numbers you want to chase. But this cat, I was wrong on him last week. He didn't perform last week. But Deontay Johnson, extended time missing, you know, that hamstring. The fact that no real, like, playmaker stepping up. I don't even know, is Jalen taking over Najee Harris or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep saying Jalen's taking over, Najee's not performing. You know what's going down there. Steelers in general, right? Not looking too hot. Even though they just beat the Raiders, right? That was more Jimmy G throwing the interception at the end. That's a different story. What I'm trying to say, stash this kid, Calvin Austin, the opportunity's there, you know. And then tight end, I got a random kid. I think his name's Donald. I don't know. He plays for the Chargers. Is it the Chargers or? Yeah, I think it's the Chargers. He leads the league in tight end touchdowns. He's got 3 right now, 3 through 3 games. So, you know, who knows, man? See if that luck keeps going or runs out. That's my stash. You know, stash these boys, man.
So wait, did you say Melvin Gordon for a week 5 stash?
Yeah. Stash him now. Hey, if it don't work, drop his ass the next week.
Melvin Gordon right now is ranked on. He's the 25th player on the trends, only rostered in 2%, so probably super available. I didn't even realize.
And that's who we like looking for. Yeah, we look for real low. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so week 5 is against the Steelers. Are they? Intuition would say that's a defense that's doing well against the run T.J. Watt and company. So
yeah, for sure.
why is he a Week 5 stash against the Steelers?
It was really, I would say maybe just the no alpha dog at the running back position. It's a committee, and I like him over Gus Edwards. So I think if it comes down to that, like he was on the field half the plays last week, and that was just after being on the practice squad maybe 3 days before. So shit, if they're willing to give it to him that fresh like that, imagine now a week into the system, a week into the practice, up elevated with the squad.
Well, this is interesting. It says Gordon reverted back to Baltimore's practice squad on Monday per the NFL's transaction log. Currently listed as 3. So keep that name posted, but it looks like, which is interesting because he's only listed as a 3rd running back. So that's interesting that they put the practice squad. Anyway.
Yeah.
Man,
all right. Well, shit. Hey, but that's all I got, bro. Shit.
Cool.
You want to? I know we hit on the league, but anything else you want to touch on back on the Balls Deep league?
Oh, I mean, I think maybe a fun segment might be like, which players are you just done with after each week? So, I mean, at this point, we're 3 weeks in, going to week 4. At this point, you have a pretty good idea of like, I'm going to get rid of this player because I have seen nothing. And Kadarius Toney, I'm pretty sure I'm quite done with you, sir. Has not done anything, no signs of life. I think 1 game of 8 points, so that's barely significant. And then everything else has been like drastically like
you just don't want to be alone, honey. You got to let go. He's not gonna do it for you.
He's not. Better, I think that's one player I'm just gonna give up on right now and just not even, just chunk him to the wagon.
I would love to chunk Christian Watson, but I think I drafted him too high. T. Higgins is another guy I would love to chunk, but I got him in the 2nd round. So, but Christian Watson, man, I don't know what's up. I keep drafting these Muslims, man. These people that just don't like hamstrings. Healthy hammies do the body good. These people, they seem to always have some soft tissue type ailment. And
Dalton Schultz,
needed Watson.
I like we said, I want to let go, but I'm going to hold on just for a little bit just to see. But like deep down feels like I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to go. Maybe not. I'm sure he'll be incorporated into the offense in some way, but not in a way that's probably consistent enough for fantasy. But I'm sure he'll provide value to the team and still get a throw here or there or certain packages or plays. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything though, which is interesting. So keep an eye on that one. But other than that, we can move on. But we do need to discuss about the drama and the turmoil that's happening within our own league that's causing, what's the word?
The rip waves, huh? Change your record, man.
You took the wind out of my sail. Although I went from like hoping for 3-0 and now I'm 1-2. So why don't you go ahead and explain what's happening in our league?
It's wild. So, all right, 2 years in Sleeper, right? Before that, we were on ESPN. Anyways, we messed up a little on the scoring. We voted, right? When we all got together at your beautiful house. God damn, bro, I had so much fun. Fuck, man, just thinking about it now, man. Damn, that was good times. But yeah, bro, we got there. We voted on a bonus, 100-yard game rushing, receiving, or a 300-yard game passing. Gave a little bonus, 5-point bonus. We're done, right? That's it. Well, I was looking through the scores, and I'm like, well, how come Bob didn't get his 5-point bonus? His quarterback threw for 400 yards. I'm looking, and then I look at Kirk, my quarterback. I'm like, damn, I got my 5-point bonus for 300 yards. Why didn't he get it for 400? So then, of course, I looked, and then I see, damn, I look at your player, Devon Achon, same thing, 200-yard, no bonus. So basically, it was just the wording of the rule when you go into the score settings, right? They say, it was basically 100 to 199 yards plus 5 bonus, right? Well, the next category is 200 yards. It doesn't say 100 to like 299, right? So it just says you have to hit 200 or more to get this. So when you get the 200, it's giving you that bonus, but we had to zero in for that. So it overrid the 100-point bonus. It was just weird, man. So basically had to go in and change up the scoring, and it affected a week 1 result. Yeah,
so week one, I scooted by. Although it's how it should be because
that was a 1-point or 2-point slim anyway.
Yeah,
right?
I was already. I went to bed thinking I lost, and I only won because of the Cowboys scored 40 points in fantasy that night and single-handedly won the game. and that was like a really frosty week 1 loss to Kyle. So it rights a wrong in some ways, in many ways. I'm sure Kyle.
I'll tell you, man. And the reason I brought up ESPN before that, we there were some years we had that bonus, but we took it away. That's why we had to vote it back in this year. But back when we did have it, maybe like 10 years ago, it doubled up. So like if you hit the 100-yard mark, you got your 5 points, and then if you hit the 200-yard mark, you got like 10 points. So then you got 5 plus 10, you got 15 total. Okay. And like shit was getting way out of hand, man. So yeah. So I thought that's how it was going to be this time around, but it wasn't. Anyways, yeah, man. All is well, though, huh? So we got 2 undefeated people, Will, Steve. So guys that both made the playoffs last year. So you got one guy that's 0-3. That's me. So I didn't have my third. I didn't have my third round
podcast experts 0-3.
Yeah. So,
what's going on? What's going on, man? Is it just bad luck? Bad. What's going on?
I had lost to Bob, and that was I had players on the bench that scored double digits, so I'm happy about that. That was just played the wrong guy. I can live with that, But week 1, I got slaughtered. My guys didn't perform. 2 goose eggs week 1. You know what I'm saying? Still had 2 goose eggs this last week too, actually. So yeah. But
and let's just
my
remind
top heavy guys are top heavy. So.
Let's remind any listeners and the guys of the league. So what do we decide on playoffs? We're gonna have like the number 1 seeds get a first round bye. And there's going to be
we used to have 8 out of 12
or 7 spots.
No, still 7 spots. So it had been 8 spots. 8 out of 12 make playoffs every year, right? This year we cut 1 spot, so it's only 7.
And so I looked last year. It's like majority of the league finished 7-6. So like everyone finished like quite dead even. So it came down to a lot of wins and matchups in divisions which was pretty cool. Yeah. But kind of at the same time, pretty annoying if you were a 7-6 team on the outside. I can't remember, but I definitely finished 7-6. I can't remember if I was one that squeaked in. I think I might have just missed the playoffs because of a matchup. Either way, if I did make it,
no, you made it. You made it.
If I made it, I lost like the first loss.
Say. Yeah.
I can
man,
edit that in post.
Yeah, bro.
So it's So with
what's
that
cool
said,
is, if we miss the playoffs, man, we still have a chance to make $75 at the end of the year.
Well, so to that point, I was saying at the playoffs, you're 0-3. At what point are you hitting the panic button? Realistically, when can you turn this around?
Yeah.
Already?
You have to win now, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
I mean, like you said, you're gonna finish 7-6, so I got 3 more losses, and you're gonna lose.
What's wrong with you?
You're gonna lose when the bye weeks start. You know what I mean? I'm 0-3, and the bye weeks ain't even start yet. So I'm like, fuck, bro. Like I got everyone right now, so I gotta sprinkle 3 losses.
It can be done.
So I gotta
it can
win
be
out.
Done. I know Will turned his season around like I think 1 or 2 seasons ago, and I think he made it like he had a deep run, but he turned it around and it's rattled off like last 7 wins. Yeah,
last year, bro.
He was he was on life support. He was like in giving up, and then all of a sudden he just completely went off. So it can be done.
Luckily, we got ways to still stay competitive, right? We talk about that every year. The side pots that we have.
Yeah,
the Survivor pot, even $75. With the last 3 weeks of the season. So even if you're 0-10, I'm still playing for money games those last 3 weeks, and like we talk about the losers bracket, you don't make the playoffs. I think that's my favorite news side pot where I basically call all the guys and we do a draft of the playoff people's rosters, like a QB, a receiver, a running back, and then like add the points. Next week it's 4, the next week is 3, and then that's gonna be cool too. So
word. Well, so we can move on to what's happening. Close out the show. Is a quick one. Do you have anything? What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Oh, I know what's happening. I got.
I had 2 things. Yeah, you first. Go ahead. Let's rapid fire. You first.
I sent it to you on the gram, but Colin Kaepernick has apparently reached out to the Jets and sent them a letter of saying, basically, I've been training nonstop for these past 5 to 8 years and whatever long it's been, and I'm ready to go. I think I can contribute to your team. It goes on to say, like, I'm not going to, infringe on Zach Wilson. Is that right? Is that his last name Wilson? Yeah, Zach Wilson
Milf Hunter.
Anyway, it was just a really awkward letter, and then it even has references in there of like Jim Harbaugh, John, and then Mark Davis. then it's like Mark Davis, owner of the Vegas Raiders, and it's like, if that guy if thinks you're like worthy to get employed, he owns a team. He can put you on his team if he wanted to, if he really was that had that much conviction. But this is coming from a guy who, it's not an opinion, it's fact. He made a Netflix documentary called the NFL Modern Slavery. So it's just really weird how he continues to bash it on one end and then begs to be back in it in some regards. And at this point, it's like 8 years, man. It's like, or 6 years. It's that ship has sailed, brother. It is gone.
It has sailed, bro. Like that read option was sick when he would do it. He used to kiss the bicep and shit, and he would kill the Packers, man. Fuck out of here, bro. Man.
It's just amazing. So J. Cole was the one who shared it on his Instagram account.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because he was like, just endorsing.
Oh, J. Cole was advocating.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Colin doesn't want me to share this at all, but I think it's important that everyone knows like how committed he is and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, what's happening right now? This is crazy. This is crazy talk.
Please sign me to the practice squad.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to.
I had the Kansas City Chiefs just changed their names to the Kansas City Swifties with Travis Kelce out there. Old Taylor Swift.
You almost had me. I was like, no way.
Yeah. What else did I have on here? That 70s show. Well, no, I didn't know that dude. I didn't know that. Oh, what's up?
I was like, in regards to the Taylor Swift making an appearance at the Kansas City game. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Where she apparently left the suite, the Kelce suite, in a popcorn case container thing. Basically, what they store the popcorn machine in. It's like to roll her out of the suite because you have to kind of walk out of the suite and you see everyone out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've seen them like at NRG, right? Like, you know, these suites don't typically have like a complete private. You have like a private elevator, but you have to walk amongst the public
people, amongst
into the suite.
Scrubs.
So like that, apparently everyone like there's this video, I think
the return of Miss Cleo.
But apparently they had a video and people are like, she's definitely in there. And so really awkward thing. But can you imagine, like, you're so famous we have to be shuttled around like in a popcorn machine?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I just lost your.
Oh, hey, I had another one. The 70s show.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know that dude was a Chester, man. Apparently he's a serial rapist.
Oh yeah, he going to jail for a long time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's good, man? Damn.
And I know Ashton Kutcher and his wife, that actress.
Yeah, what's up with them? You know,
I guess catching a lot of fallout because they endorsed him at one point when he was going through trial and like he was being questioned, and now it's like he's been convicted. So now it's like you guys were friends with a rapist, and so they're having now to defend their side. And I know Ashton Kutcher stepped down from his like his nonprofits, or he has some organization against like
backlash now. Huh?
It's I think he has like a anti-human sex trafficking organization, and so he's had to step down there because of all the negative attention he's getting. So it's actually kind of terrible. You know, I don't think I can totally understand that they're just trying to help a friend, and it's someone they've known for years, and.
Yeah, they're just trying to back up a homie, and
like if you were in that situation, I would endorse you and stand behind you. And if you turned out, I'd be like, oh shit, man. I'd be like, well,
who knew? Yeah, exactly.
Who knew?
Who knew? There were so many signs we ignored.
Yeah, I was like, there were that time in high school.
Well, yeah. All right, brother, man, let's get some rest, man. Shit.
All right. Well, I'm always kind of tired when we start the show, but then by the time we end it, I'm pretty.
I don't know, man.
Pretty awake.
It's good. Well, life's always good when I'm on here with you.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. It was fun, and I'll get this one turned around so it actually makes the air at a decent time.
You already know.
All right, man.
What we closing out with?
I'm gonna close out with a little JB. Well, -2. It's always a good home base. But,
all right, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, dude.
Tomorrow.
Have a good one, bro.
Later, bro.
Peace.
Fear of God for my undies blessed up, never underwearing the Lord. Mama told me I was special since I was a really little boy. When you say my name.